Deviation 15 degrees left of course approved. Proceed for naval. Ready for takeoff.
We want to soar together. I think the light of the church can shine brighter now than ever before.
God's got so many more ways than one. One of the greatest sins of religion is absolutism.
Free me from every bondage. Free me from every addiction. Free me from every habit. Holy Spirit, until all in my life is yours.
I'm back. What's up, y'all? It's good to be back. It's a special episode with TateFlight Studios. I got some family members that y'all been looking for, that y'all ain't know about. They here with me today. We're going to have a great conversation with the skaters, the skate community. We're going to bring us all together, the new generation, the old generation, and see if we can build back familyhood and culture and come together and just improve on what we love to do in our spare time. We got over 100 years of experience on this panel. And so like, tag, and share. I'm giving you time now to like, tag, and share right now. Get everybody on here. Get it from Atlanta to up here in Michigan to California to North to the Carolinas. Share. Everybody, I'm giving you time to share right now. And so we can have a great conversation. You can come in, make statements, we'll see it, ask questions, we'll answer them, and let's have a good conversation, a good time, and let's keep on rolling for years to come. All right? Things you need to know. Things you need to know. I need y'all to know this, that listen, coming up is Skate-O-Ween 2023. Y'all know who she is. Trinae is hosting that party. We're going to be live that night. I'm going to be coming back from Florida. We're going to go right to the rink. We're going to hit it. We're going to hit the wood. We're going to slide. We're going to party all night long like we know we do. And then we're going to get up in Sunday morning and go play and go to church and all that good stuff. Look, we're going to have a good time. Put on your costumes like we do every year. Be right there. Y'all know where it's at. Canton. Right there in Canton. Be there. Join somebody. Tell somebody. Tag somebody. Let them know we're going to be right in Canton at Skate-O-Ween, having a good old-fashioned time. Y'all know the founders. We give our honor and praises and happy salute birthday to T, fallen skater who is no longer with us. We love her much. We say, we love you, T. Happy birthday. We miss you so much. And we know my mother-in-law, Cookie, everybody calls her Cookie. We love you so much for all that you've done. And we're looking to make you proud of us. All right? So that's one of the things you do. The next things you know, look, throwback skating. Cynthia, Ramon, Eldon. They are throwing the throwback skating. I believe it's a 90s blackout. And so we're going to be there too. If I ain't got to work, I'll be there. But y'all know I'm supporting. Y'all be there. We're going to have a good time again. We just like skating around here. So make everything. They make the Skate-O-Ween, make the throwback blackout, be there. It's a great DJ coming. And then also Thanksgiving. We rolling on Thanksgiving. Don't be mad at us, Flint, but we rolling on Thanksgiving. Listen, we're going to be rolling with a DJ Soft Touch. My man did a great job for the past 2 years in Atlanta. Big ups to Joy Lofton. I'll get to that next. But be there too. We're going to have a great time there. Y'all support these events. This is my family, skating family, my culture. Those of you who joined us from the TateFlight show, I'm introducing you some friends that's dear to my heart. I love them so much. Over 20 years of friendship, and I don't mean to be, but I thank God for them. All right. So we're gonna get to them on my left, on my far end. My left, your right is Tony. He has been skating all his life. He has been doing shows. He knows the ins and outs of skating. He's been skating for 56 years. Tony, introduce yourself. Say hey to the people.
Hello, everyone. My name is Antonio Sturdivant. And he had said that I have been on skates since 1966. Got my first pair during the summer when I was visiting my great grandparents in Brooklyn, New York. They brought me those ones that you snap onto your shoes and go up and down the sidewalk. From there, my first time going inside of a skating rink was like in 67, 68. My uncle took me to the first rink, and after that, it's just been fun, ups and downs, and learning and still learning.
Next, we have my ride or die dog, man. Y'all excuse me. This is my dog. This is my dog right here. Listen, this young lady has been skating. We were skating partners for a little while, and so she has encouraged me throughout my life to get it right, to keep me on straight, to have a good time. I want to introduce 37 years of skating to Kia Slaughter. Say hey to the people, girl.
Hello. I started skating when I was 5 years old. My mother introduced my sister and I skating. We grew up skating at Northland Roller Rink.
Shout out.
Right. Rest in peace, Marvin Davis. Skating I've met some of my closest friends skating at the rink. We literally are like family. We know each other's moms, kids, and now even grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what really has helped me with skating is it's gotten me through some of the most breakups, deaths, and everything. You just kind of go out there and leave it on the wood and skate and have a good time.
That's good. Listen, another one that's dear to my heart that I have conversation with that boosts me and we has our up and down, but we fight, that's what family does.
The big sister.
But we're this one here is so dear to my heart. We're like that Martin Pamela. If you watch Martin Pamela relationship, that love hate, but I don't really hate you. I really love you type of the relationship. Trinae, come on, introduce yourself, girl.
Trey, I'm Trinae. Most people know me by Trey Black. Been skating for 42 years. My mother introduced me to skating when I was like 2 years old. She said I hated it at first, ironically enough. But now it is like so true and dear to my heart. It's like he said, right? It's that thing that gets me through difficult days. If I can just go and listen to my skates just roll on the wood, then everything is good. So.
One of the baddest skaters of our time. I'm gonna say it like that.
His head already big enough.
Oh, his head already big enough.
Not bigger than you.
I think he's humble and I think he's a good teacher.
He is.
He's a good man. When I first came around, what made me get better is a silent challenge that we had when I first came around outside of Rollercade. Shout out to Rollercade. But this guy has a truly gift in skating. And I want y'all to introduce to y'all to Edward Reese, over 25 years of skating. Holla at him, Ed.
My name is Ed, well, better known as Ed.
Edward.
Yeah, not with the Edward thing right now. Not my government. Better known as Ed. I started skating, say back in like 96. It was just one of those things that happened just to walk in the skating rink and just saw the vibe, saw the people, saw people like Trinae and a lot of other people just showing off, I'm like, I want to show off too, I'm gonna learn how to skate. I want to show off too. So I just kind of fell in love with it, man. It was like a long journey, learning how to skate. And, I made a lot of people along the way as well. Friends, I made a lot of friends. It's just been a blessing just to be in the skate world.
Listen, these are my family right here. We're getting ready to I'm giving y'all time to share it one more time. It's some other friends that's not here that I want to give a shout out to that's dear to my heart, like Shalinda, Tish, Marv, Takara, Ramon, everybody. Cynthia, great legendary lady skater, and Reggie Gunn, a great legendary skater who's fantastic. all of them. We get a shout out to everybody. I need to stop calling names before somebody get mad. But I love each and every one of y'all. Everybody who skate. There's so many Daves in skating. I'm just Dave. I don't know. We're not gonna say those names.
What are you?
But we gonna get started. Hey y'all, let's start with Tone. Tone, why did you start skating?
I guess during that time, it wasn't really a love for skating. It's just cause you grew up with a lot of neighborhood kids, and on the weekend we all went skating. Besides, the sports you played during the week. Skating was one, bowling was another, going to the movies was another. Skating for me started branching out probably once I got into high school, started getting into high school. Before then, like I said, it's just friends meeting up on the weekend, going to have fun. It kind of got started getting serious once I started branching out. For me, I branched outward from my community to the Detroit community probably in the 73, 74. At that point is when I started going to Pontiac on Sundays.
Okay.
That's when I seen the people like Cynthia, Willie Johnson, Trene's mother. And a lot of the other skaters at that time who was probably only about maybe anywhere from 5 to maybe 9 years older than me. I was at that time probably my early teens. They were in their late teens. Once I started seeing them and seeing a little bit of culture that had rhythm, they had a different style. That's when, I mainly started getting into, okay, this got some, swag to it. I want to, start learning some of this. So then I started branching out with Justina's dad, Dion, and Ira. They had a little stepping duo that they used to do in the middle on Sundays. And I had basically, just got with them, and we would have little step routines. Ira, big as he is, Ira was doing crisscross and regular drops at that time. I was telling people, I said, y'all don't believe it, but that man's weight didn't stop him from doing anything. So that was my first, encounter being, with a group of Detroit people and, taking my skills a little higher. So, then from there, it was the hanging with Deborah, hanging with Charles. This was all
legendary people.
Right. These was like this was like mid to late 70s. So probably around 77, 78 is when I started hanging with them. And, at that point, I would say, probably from the middle 70s to the late 70s is when you've seen a lot of the technical and technique that you see today started coming along. If you watched some of the Rolling Funk videos that Rockin' Richard was in, if you see that style, that was like a beginning. If you see them, they was mostly stepping. You seen drops here, you seen cartwheels. It was not technical, but it was still a style. It started coming together mid to late 70s, and that's when a lot of the creatives started coming.
Okay.
The different things you could do on skates started coming, and from there it just took off. You had everybody kind of putting their hands into learning different things to do on skates, taking it to different levels, seeing stuff that you couldn't believe could be done on skates.
Right.
Like I could say from my earliest days of seeing a show performance was Bishop and Kenny Mike. They came to my rink and
he giving y'all history.
And they came to my rink in the early 70s and put on a show. To this day, I'm still friends with this lady named Linda Parks.
Okay.
She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She was one of the skating partners with Kenny Mike and Bishop. Believe it or not,
those are people.
Everybody who was doing that does the particular step and did, and what you're missing out on is it's changed. Changed for the better, I would say no. Because when they did that particular move, today people end it with a kick out or a high hop. They ended it with a baseball slide. If you don't know what a baseball slide is, that's when
Google it.
A baseball player is sliding into home base or second base. That's how they ended the Kenny Mike. You won't see that move done today. The last time I seen it was two fellows. One is named Skeeter, and he has a partner. They did it in Pontiac. That was in the early 90s. You won't see that move today. It is like a figure four that you go down into a slide, if you know what a baseball slide is.
Teaching
you
now.
Slide and you pop up and you kick out. It got simplified when people didn't know how to do a baseball slide. We just gonna kick out. And that's
a straight kick.
Right. And that's the way it's been done ever since then. But if you want to do an original Bishop and Kenny Mike, it ends with a baseball slide.
That's good, Tone. Hey, Trinae, what made you fall in love with skating?
My mother made me fall in love with skating. I think originally, just watching my mother skate. So people who know my mother and remember my mother skating will always say my stride is just like my mother's. Like it's long and it's solid, but it's my mother's stride. That's who originally taught me how to skate. Like that's who I skated with. And her love for skating, I think, is kind of where I developed a love for skating, right? For me, I know I was asked this question before, like what made you fall in love with skating? Honestly, it's because I never stopped falling in love with it. I fall in love with it over and over and over again. And as I watch things and I see these kids, you know, their creative spirits and the things that they do now, I'm like blown away with some of it, because even at my peak, 20 something years ago, I wouldn't attempt some of the things that I see these kids do, right? I watch Kai skate and just watch his old spirit and stride. And it takes me back to his granddad. Rest in peace, Andre. It takes me back to like seeing his granddad skate, but he has this long stride just like his granddad's, right? But it's such an old spirit. But then every single thing he does just kind of flows, right? And so it's hard to not fall in love with it over and over and over again. Like even watching my daughter as she grew up attempting stuff again, I would not even think of attempting, right? Like her creative spirit and her energy with it, just like, how could you not love it, right? And so for me, I continuously fall in love with skating, you know, so, to this day.
Here we go. I'm about to start some tension, y'all. We got all the preliminaries out the way. We about to get to
I
it.
want no parts. I want no parts.
Here.
Peace and love.
How do you feel skating is today?
Today, I think skating is more trendy. I think it's, you know, a lot of people always say, you still skate? Or like, I really never stopped skating. Skating has not stopped. Like people be like, oh, I used to go skating back in the day when it was hype, but you know, I never stopped skating. I might not have skated as often as I did before, but I always gonna hit, of course, the Aries skate jam and skate Halloween, or before the day before Thanksgiving, I'm always gonna hit that, and I'm always go back to my skates. Like I said, when I'm going through something hard, the skates always, I put my skates on, get on out there, and I might cry in the car on the way home, but you know, that got me through that moment. But now I like the new skaters. I do like what they're attempting. They're doing way more stuff at that age than I think I was doing with steps. I just think more people are just getting into skating. I don't know, be seen. Maybe we didn't grow up like with social media.
Cameras.
Think about it. We grew up with cameras, so we skated on a whole TV show.
Yeah, but we didn't like
but
post
it wasn't
everything.
it wasn't the whole
Social media
attention, right? Like I always say, I love that I learned how to skate before people were like
definitely
in my way with a camera.
And I think growing up, we didn't really, because there was no internet. I thought Detroit's style of skating was everybody's style of skating until I started. I think when we went to Canada,
it was only JB was the only other one.
Well, that came a little later when we saw it was JB style when we started going to Chicago to travel to skate and everything. But I didn't know other people didn't skate the way I did. So then there's like, oh, you got toe stops, or it was just because there was no social media and you didn't know everybody skated the same way. And I think that kind of for us kept down. I don't want to say drama, but different styles of skating, different opinions. What skating style is better than the other? So
for a lot, go ahead.
It's too controversial, yeah.
For a lot of us, I'm getting there in a minute. For a lot of us, skating has saved our lives. We started out, mom and daddy taking us to the rink. We had to stay at the rink all day. Then some of us worked at the rink. We went there on Friday night, Saturday night, Wednesday night, throughout our child life, teenager life, and adult life, because we fell for the love of skating, something that we got in our heart, and the culture that surrounded it, and the people that surrounded it. So a lot of us, even me, just love it and have a love for it. Doesn't mean that's all we do in our life, but it just means that's a part of our life that we love, right? And so I think everybody everywhere from all states have a love for skating, that skating has grew in their hearts, that they just saved their life. They could have been out in the streets on drugs, anything else, but they found something to do that kept them out of the streets that they can go to every week and say, for three hours, I can clear my head. I can just have a good time, right? And be around good people. I think that's what skating has done to a lot of us over the years. But narrowing it down, Edward, Detroit skating style. Here we go.
Hey, Dave, let me say something.
What do you feel about the Detroit skating style today?
Dave, let me say something.
Go ahead, Tom.
Just a funny tidbit. Just to let everybody know, when I started skating, admission was 30 cents for matinee and 60 cents for evening.
Wow.
Y'all young skaters hearing all this?
30 cents. I mean, 30 cents. What, $3?
What can you buy for 30 cents today?
Nothing. 60 cents for the evening session.
Not even a rubber band.
Right. And another tidbit, as far as Chicago skaters, back in the day, the biggest Chicago skaters was those artistic older skaters. That was the biggest group. JB skaters, they were there. They was a small group, but the like, especially when skate-a-thons first came around, the biggest group that would come from Chicago would be those artistic skaters. JB skaters was not even in there.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Because I don't want to slip my mind. I want to give this lady honor. I'm coming back to you, Ed. Joy Lofton, we thank you for your service all of the years.
Yes.
For those who follow the TateFlight show, y'all wonder where I've been going every year in September for my birthday. It's down in Atlanta for skating. Me and my wife go. Shout out to my wife. She's here. She's one of our producers. I love her so much. Shout out to John King, our other producer. Shout out to them. We love them. They're behind the scenes working. But listen, Joy Lofton, we thank you for your service. Skate-a-thon has been a great experience, has been joy, memories that we will never forget, that we're not going to share right now, but memories never forget. And I think it brought us closer, and we thank you, Joy Lofton. We salute you and on your journey, on your new journey. Edward, again, back to Detroit style, man. How do you feel about it today? Come on, give it to him.
Basically, I feel like when I first started skating, Detroit style was, I feel like it was like more structure. The camaraderie was there. Like he has said, with the cameras, it's every man for themselves. You know, when you skating with somebody, now it's like they skate against each other. You know, so if I do a half turn, we do a half turn together. Now it's not like that. It's like, who in the front, they do what they want to do in the front. Who in the back, they do what they want to do in the back. Even skating like in the trio, Detroit is about being in sync. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things a lot of states like about us. Like I hear all the time, like, dude, like y'all did it together, like y'all not talking. Like we already know what to do. That's what we've been doing for years. So now when you got, the newer generation, like he has said, they are real creative. I'm really proud of a lot of new cats coming in here, putting that work in, putting everything on the wood, but it's like, keep the style original. There's nothing wrong with being original, and there's nothing wrong with being different. But at the same time, like when you take away the foundation and the fundamentals of Detroit style, then it's no longer the Detroit style no more. If you look at other states, they may have like one person in the front and you have 4 people in the back, and that one person in the front is doing everything. So we do the same thing they doing. What makes us different? What makes us different?
Wow. Go ahead, Tony.
And just a tidbit from talking about trios.
Tony with the
Let's start calling you Tony with the 10. Tony with the 10.
We never did skate in a single file, one behind another. When we grew up learning how to trio enforcing. Our trios enforcement was always straight across.
Side by side.
Always straight across. It didn't get into that single line, one behind the other until probably like the early 80s, somewhere in that time frame. But if you watch a lot of I don't know how many people went to Willie's Arcadia reunion, but if you've seen a lot of the adult skaters there who got out on trios, you see that every last one of them in that age group was side by side.
Yeah.
Nobody was single file.
Yeah.
I think that single file, especially like when we were teenagers, so like in the 90s, right? Everything was about riding, going fast and moving. And so that single file, right, is kind of when everybody wanted to start single file so that they could, get through the crowd.
Right, for the crowd control. Right.
Because it used to be really crowded.
Yeah, for crowd control.
So the rail was where you was supposed to be at to get through the crowd.
But then, I guess it's like the whole rink culture,
It's definitely morphed, right? Because I even for us, when we skate trio, like we skate single file, but for the most part, you'll see we stack, right? We side by side, right? So I mean, I think it's culturally, as time has changed, things have changed, right? I think about like even just the basic half turn, how it used to be crossover, pump in the back, touch in front, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I can still teach it that way.
Please pivot.
For those, I'm gonna let y'all continue talking. For those who's trying to learn skating and things of that nature, they're talking about moves. When they say half turn, reverse, tucks, Boston Kenny, Mike, Pontiac, they are moves that we do in skating. I don't want to get nobody lost. Like, what are they talking about? They're talking foreign. So I want to just pause them real quick so y'all can understand. Those who don't skate, who's thinking about coming to skate, that's what they're talking about. All right. And Detroit style has grown, like Trinae said, has grown and got evolved, like everything should do.
I think we've gotten recognized. Before, I think we're the only state that skates like that. When I go out of town, if I see somebody, if I start skating, they're gonna know I'm probably from Detroit. If when I go out of town and see somebody doing it, I don't know where you from, because everybody is adapting to all these other styles. You can fast backwards, you can JB. You don't have to be from those particular states, Philly, and that's the style of skating you like and you adapt it to. Most people are just not giving, I don't want to say Detroit their flowers on skating. They're with the sliding controversy of who started it, who created it. But we were like literally legit. I'm the only people that were sliding. We couldn't even slide growing up. This is the whole thing. You would get put out of Northland roller rink, your picture taken,
posted
for sliding
in a binder.
Bonaventure, back in the day, I could not go in there with my Fomax on as a kid, 8 or 9 years old, because you cannot come in here, but you sell the wheels, right? But I can't come in here and slide. So I'm literally at Bonaventure with Reynolds on. So, I mean.
Shout out to everybody on Instagram. We see your comments. You can comment. You can ask questions as we're talking. Again, Detroit style is
unique.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Unique.
But see, how unique can it be when it looks like everybody else. Like I see other states, other places trying to do the things that we originally do. Like now, you see other places, they slide just as good as we do. You know
On what, fibers?
No. On Orange Vanity Rentals.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But the motion is not the same. The style is not the same.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They can duplicate it, but they can't.
But that's the difference, right? That's the difference. The difference is, you can replicate what we're doing, or you can attempt to replicate it, but it's the vibe. You can't steal the vibe.
I mean, when I look at the open house videos and I see somebody coming through, I can automatically pinpoint who is not from Detroit that's coming through sliding. It's just not the same. It's cut off at the end. It's open to what I call booty slides, open legs. Like, it's just.
You can copy it, but it's nothing like the original.
Yeah, they be coming through arms up. Just it's the distance.
Right.
It's
Theirs is more of a force. They forcing the
throw their
slide.
body.
Right.
We're not knocking you.
Right.
No, it's not
There's more of a they leaning hard to the inside to make the skate slide. Instead of ours, we're more straight up.
Just step into it, right?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but like when I watch these videos and I talk to the younger generation all the time about when they skate in trios, they skate in couples. If you watch like snapping videos or trains and trio videos from like New York, New Jersey, that person in the front is mainly doing most of the footwork, right? While the other skaters are like holding them up, right? So now you got the trio here in Detroit, they doing the same thing. So again, my question is, what's gonna make us different?
What do you mean we're doing this? You feel like we're doing the same thing on the
Not
trail?
us.
Oh, okay.
The newer generation from here.
Not us.
Well, you know what? Everybody has that. We're the only ones that skate trio like in our stride. Everybody does that gather step. Everybody's
it's a
gathering. It's
double
like a
pump.
double pump,
right.
which I kind of feel like makes you work harder. I'm doing a single stride, you double pumping, and I'm passing you. Like everybody's doing that. And you're right, the person in the front is doing like all the work. I don't see anybody in the back flipping.
Right. But if you
when they swing around, do something like reverse too on the corners. And
it's the same motion. It's the same motion. But I guess my biggest issue that I've been talking about on Instagram Live for the past year is like keep our style. Like don't deviate from the style just to get likes and views and fire emojis. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like selling your soul to the devil. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not even worth it. Keep it original, because I have a grandchild and I want him to grow up and learn Detroit style the way it was taught to me or the way I learned it. You know what I'm saying? So if 10 years from now the style is watered down, how you gonna learn it the right way if I can't teach you?
I mean, it's gonna be watered down. But I think if you look at it from a perspective of if you look at if Charles Haywood was still here, would he think the style was watered down?
I think so.
Exactly.
Right.
So I feel like it's evolution is gonna happen regardless, right? Whether we want it or not. I laugh all the time, right? I'll tell anybody, the kids today could never learn how to skate the way we had to learn how to skate. Okay. When I talk about being 10 years old and having to be camera ready every single week, you get one take. It needed to be perfect. Okay. You practice it and you do something, you give it all your heart, and somebody like, you're like, what? Like, I gave it everything I had. They like, yeah, still, thumbs down, do it again. Right? Like now, if you don't tell the kids they're awesome, oh, you hating. No, baby. Right. It's not hate at all. I want you to be great. I want this to live on. I want you to do it. But if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Put work in the rink. Right. We used to be skating 4 sessions in a day.
Oh yeah.
1 to 4, 4 to 6,
oh,
7 to 10, 10
to
1:30.
Fall and get right back up.
Literally at skating, and then that was Saturday, and then we wake up Sunday and go 2 to 5, 5:30 to 7:30, 8 to 11.
But Saturday you
go to the east side, go 10 to 1.
You forgot. On Saturdays had to be there early because we had to practice. We had to do class. We had to practice. We had to take class. Then start
listening. Put in work.
And don't let Cookie look out there and you ain't doing no edges or nothing. Hey, you ain't working.
My mama was so tired of taking us to rink, and our house was like the go-to house. So everybody was at my house with my mom and dad. My mom was so happy my sister Tish got her license first, so we can pile up and go with the Volvo.
Listen, in the Volvo. Let's roll.
But good comments, but things might change, but we gotta keep our Detroit style alive.
It's alive.
It's
Absolutely.
It's alive.
Right.
It's definitely in. By the time my grandson is 20 years
yeah.
old, it's not gonna be even what it looks like right now.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And can we stop that? No, I don't think we can stop it, but I think we
disagree.
can help to preserve as much of it as possible. It's gonna change.
It's going to change, but so I always like I use a tree as an example. Like, for example, I'll say like Charles Haywood and Tony and Cynthia, them are roots, right? Then like I feel like we are the branches, okay? And then the new generation like Kai and Anthony and all, they like the leaves, right?
Absolutely.
So they have to go to the next tree. Like some leaves fall, they get to the ground, to the soil, they produce another tree. So it's the same thing. Like it has to keep on going and have to keep on getting recreated, but still keep the foundation. That's the main part.
Right there.
The foundation.
Can we all hold on? I got you. Just remember. Can we all agree there's a bone to everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Structure.
Foundation. In skating, there's a foundation, there's a bone in skating. It's called, first of all, balance. Oh, y'all didn't think I knew this because I don't get out there much no more. I'm a little overweight, but I'm gonna get back into it. It's balance. Then next, you gotta learn how to pivot.
Hello.
We pivot up and down the floor. Consistently. We worked in our balance in our socks and our shoes. Then it's called rolling balance. One leg up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we real serious about this thing. That's how much these people love it. And I love it. For those, you beat me to it. My mother-in-law teaches when we was teaching on Schoolcraft, edges. You had to go, it's circles on the floor. You had to make circles on the floor.
Use that body weight. Get on that edge.
Yeah.
What's our favorite phrase? Keep it tight.
Keep
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
Your body too open.
Keep it tight.
New generation, I want y'all to hear this clearly. Balance, pivoting, edges. Learn how to shift your weight. I'm going to start something here now. Women should not skate like men. Get taught by a woman to learn how to move your body.
I'm putting my head down too.
Yeah. All that talk, we finna talk about it now.
And I would like an opportunity for like somebody from the new generation to come on here and talk with us, or even to join in on the live, because it's always good to get the other side of the story. Because I feel like
I'm waiting on their comments right now.
I feel like it's a disconnect. Because I talk to one of the little guys all the time, like, man, like the OGs, man, they don't talk to us. You know what I'm saying? They being mean to us. I'm like, well, I'm an OG and I talk to y'all. They like, no, older than you. I'm like, well,
that's different.
That's
I
different.
mean, that's life though.
A lot of them don't skate no more.
But that's not true, because Cynthia is always
talking to everybody.
Always grabbing one of the kids. Listen, first off, the first thing you do, mess around and cut Cynthia off.
She gonna talk to you for
now
real.
you gotta have a conversation.
She gonna talk to you.
Now you gotta have a conversation, and now let's ride, because now I need to show you how you should have came by there, right? And that's how it all gets passed down. So I think people feel like because nobody is just running over to them and saying, "Hey, you're great. Come on, let's skate." Right?
They can't take criticism.
Say it loud. Let Dave say it. Say it loud, Dave.
Constructive criticism.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We're here to help you, not hurt you.
I think, but it's one of those things. I feel like they feel like, oh, somebody needs to come to them and say, "Hey, let's skate." I tell people, I don't even ask to skate with my own friends.
Right.
Like, unless it's trio.
You used to skate with me. You don't skate with me no more.
You don't even skate no more.
Right.
So Anthony said he'd come on here.
Like, it's one of those things though, right? So I don't even go to my own friends and say, "Hey, come on, let's skate." But if one of the kids say, "Hey, can we skate?" I'll always skate. Absolutely. Come on. Then I'm gonna give them a lecture. First off, don't do too much. All I got is half turns and reverses for you.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna give them all of that. But sure, let's skate.
I'm gonna give them all I got.
I ain't got it. No,
You gonna give them
Auntie
all.
ain't got
I'm
it.
gonna give them all I got. I ain't
got
playing
it.
with it.
Okay, I got a whole bunch of half turns and reverses for you. I might hit you with a Pontiac. I might give you a rumple. The Pepsi is a no. Y'all
Wait,
Pepsi
she beat me
is-
to it.
Oh my God.
Pepsi is a no.
Pepsi is
The
toe up.
Pepsi is the most watered
I'm looking at
down.
every camera.
Nobody does the Pepsi right.
Y'all
It's so
toe it
watered
up.
down. What you call
They
it?
toe it up.
Diet Pepsi.
It
It
ain't
ain't
even
that.
that.
Diet
Coke
It's a
Zero.
Zero.
Coke Zero.
They toe it up.
Pepsi Zero.
They tore it up.
And everybody in the line got to come up and come out of the
Everybody got to dance. Like
everybody got to drop.
Everybody got to do a drop.
The step already. Like,
Listen, it's a no.
Can we just go back to riding around the rink?
well, that's the thing too. I think
Strides.
everybody want to look sweet now. They want to skip all the fundamentals and look sweet, and then you can tell they're not doing right. They're missing key, falling pivots. But a lot of people can't ride. I don't see like young skaters riding.
That's what I love.
Or they always skating with somebody. If I can get on the one thing I can do is skate by myself. That's what you got to learn how to do.
It's a good breeze.
First of all,
Hello, world.
I think that's what makes our trio so strong. All of us can skate.
Uh-oh,
all of us
go.
can ride. From Corey, he's the youngest one on the caboose.
Listen, the caboose.
I love the caboose. Shout out to Corey Alexander. That's my baby. He can skate. Then I'm at the end because I'm a giraffe. We got Trinae that usually leads, or Ramon leads, and then Tish, where's she skating?
In the middle.
In the middle, she's short, and then Justina is usually somewhere
Towards the end.
or
behind me.
or behind you. So we all know what our job is to do when we get on the trio.
But that's the thing, right? There's no weak links, and that's what one thing I tell
You gotta
anybody.
hold your own weight.
Everybody on here got to hold their own weight. And when you look at a lot of the trios now, the person in the front doing so much work.
And the people in the back can't even skate.
They just back there for the ride.
They holding on.
They coasting. Ain't nobody pushing. Like, and then people will go, well, you don't want to skate with anybody else. Listen, you're not about to wear me out.
And I'm too old getting to fall. Okay,
Listen, I'm too old.
I can't go down.
So it's one of those things. It's not a thing of it's not a I'm too good to do it. No, it's listen. When I skate with my people, I know they got me, right? I know they have me. If something pop off, we know exactly how to maneuver, whatever. If we take a hit, we taking the hit
all
together.
You never
we gonna
break
stay.
Yeah, they did.
We get real tight.
Come on, keep going.
Don't do that.
I gotta soften it up a little.
Don't you do that, right? We all gonna get together. We're gonna take that hit together, right? It's that thing, right? People don't understand. Hey, when y'all start breaking up and branching out, leaving people by themselves, somebody can get hurt. It's real things. It's real dangerous. It's not a game.
And at the Raiders, we skating so fast. That's what you gotta realize. Yeah. You're skating at a very high speed. We're like some other styles might skate we're really coming through fast with slippery wheels on at that. People don't get how fast we're skating with slippery wheels and the control. It's a difference. I'm not skating with rubber wheels or outside wheels. You have more grip. So
there's none of that.
And the skate etiquette, man, like these videos, man, when you don't have to do a move to hold them for the floor.
Yeah,
you don't have to skate wall to wall. Like
there you go.
It's uncalled for. I mean, it's plenty of room, plenty of steps, but take the step, break it in half, and I guarantee it'll look.
And you ain't got to do it fast all the time.
That part.
Because I'll tell you right now, I'm skating old school songs all the time now. All them fast. I'll do the move now.
To the slow song.
To the slow song.
I'm with you, baby.
I'm got a little older now. These bones ain't young like they used to be.
But if you also think about it, I tell people all the time, skating and doing Detroit style moves is like riding a bike, right? When you're riding a bicycle and you're pedaling real fast, it's real easy to have balance. It's real easy to stay upright. Do those same moves to a song that's super duper slow. Guess what? We used to have to do it. Why? Because you had to see, let me see where your balance is for real, right? Because the slower you do this stuff, the more control you have to have. The more control you have, listen, then you can do it as fast as you want because you can control it.
Let me address this comment. It's on Instagram. He said, white boy C says, they just say go in circles, not do any moves. That's boring.
Yeah. That's because there's no artistry to how y'all do it. I skate in a circle all day. There's all kind of artistry. Why? Because I use the whole floor, even riding in a circle. I'm cutting that boy up. I'm using my edges. I'm in and out, doing all of that. Right? It's artistry in it. The problem is doing all of those steps. Now you're doing all those steps, and
you can't even take off nowhere.
Listen, you in practice mode all day long because all you're doing is 700 tucks down the floor.
Or you in camera mode all day.
Yeah, so for me, like I tell people all the time, like half of the things about Detroit style skating and us skating in the 90s, and I'm sure like for Tony in the 60s and the 70s is a connection to music.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a connection to
Yep.
music. It's how you move to the music. It's how you relate and can connect to that music, what you can turn into that music. Y'all can't connect to music because y'all don't understand none of it.
Especially
And we've
when
always
the slow
skated to older
songs come
music.
on.
Especially
We
when
grew
the
up
slow
skating
songs
to
come
older
on.
music. We skated
Right.
to older music.
Right.
Way older than us. So
Yeah.
I could not skate to certain. I mean, you can skate to anything, but people like, you listen to that to skate. But that's what we grew up skating on.
Yeah.
Older music. It was no like rap playing or you
Yeah.
know.
So
Yeah.
so now I mean, don't get me wrong. They're like, okay, skating in a circle is boring. The way you skate in a circle is
Exactly.
boring.
Mhm.
And it's not even like Tish always like, all you do is go move for move up and down the floor. But that's what you see. Like I skate, I hit the whole floor. I might come back, do a move, hit another lap, come back, do another move. But it's not up and down the floor consistently. You know what I'm saying? I cut in through the traffic, I cut out the traffic.
Something
You know,
for
it's
you.
something.
Right.
My niece
Right.
said, I'm in my 20s, and all I want to do is really ride.
But
now.
she's a
That's
versatile
'cause
skater.
that's 'cause
She
she's-
can do
You
both.
your mama's
though.
child, baby.
No, that's she's 45 in skate years.
Right, in real life. In real
That's what that
life.
is.
That's what that is.
She's 45
But
in
she
skate
can do
years.
both. She can do steps and tricks, and what she can ride too. Everybody want to skate with somebody. Can you honestly get on the rail and hit it by yourself? Nobody, no hands, no. You gotta get held up the slide.
Right.
Like, can you hold your own weight?
Like I always say, if people even look at Kai will skate and he'll just ride. He might come in the middle and give you a half turn or a little something. He right back out. He on the rail and he just riding. Right? It's a connection though. You can see he is connecting to the music
Right.
he's skating to.
Mhm.
He's flowing the whole time. And it's not to say he's not doing anything else, but you ain't gotta go just up and down the floor doing 700 tucks that all look like the same tuck I just saw that was off balance the first two times you did it. But I mean, do that if that's what's fun for you. Right? Like, do that's what's fun for you.
Let me tell you something about all them tucks and pivots and half turns and Pontiacs, all that type of stuff. By the time your butt get to 50,
Listen, 50, 40. What you talking about 50?
a lot of people who used to do that when I was growing up stopped skating because
They wore their body out.
they wore their body out. They
Drops.
didn't learn how to ride. Me and Cynthia was just talking about that. Learn how to just ride and enjoy the music,
Yeah.
or learn how to just step and enjoy the music.
That's
Because
another
once
level.
you get over that age barrier, all that
Dropping.
tucks, pivots and stuff,
Especially them
is
drops.
gone.
Listen, I see
They
Especially them
gone.
drops.
And
I
when,
see
Yeah.
so many Chinese drops. It's crazy.
right. And when
Them
you
side
can't,
twists and
and
shoestrings
basically,
ain't nothing new.
right. And when you can't do that anymore, a lot of people just stop skating. Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you put
Stop
yourself.
skating.
like you
It's
put
a
yourself
lot
in
of skaters I
retirement
grew up with
Mhm.
who don't skate no more.
early. Yeah.
It's a lot of skaters we grew up with.
No,
Don't
they
skate
don't
no
skate
more.
no more.
Mhm.
I told one
And-
of the other guys, I said, every time I see a video, you doing a Chinese drop. I said, your knees gonna be shot by the time you get my age.
And,
Shot.
and for sliding, for a lot of you who want to know, I started sliding in the late 60s.
Mhm.
So sliding started before then. I could probably say it probably started during the arcade years. When we had open house, by the time we left out the rink, our eyebrows and hair looked like Trene's hair.
I mean, what
That's
you
the
trying
way.
to say?
That's the way the dust in the rink
Wow.
would
Caked
cake
up. Oh,
up
wow.
to where our hair would be. We would go in there with afros and come out with
Mhm.
blonde hair.
Yeah.
Excellent. And for is, oh man.
So you said the
These,
60s you were sliding.
I was late 60s,
That's-
68. Because we was having open house back
Back
then at
then.
the rink. then.
A good skater, I can see them feel the music. I can see them make the music talk. Everybody knows Shanae loves Anita Baker. One of her songs is Anita Baker because she's around there just floating. She ain't even doing no moves. She's just floating with it
Mhm.
and she enjoying herself. That's a prime example of just
Enjoy the
Yeah.
music.
feeling the music, riding, and enjoying yourself for something that you love to do and a song that you love that's in your heart. That's all. That's what we're saying.
Right. And most people say, I love to watch Trinae skate on a, forward on a slower song. I mean, she's a joy to watch. Most people say that. She's just can watch. She's not even doing nothing, but just strand, but work in the
Enjoying the
middle,
song.
in and out.
Mhm.
But that's always what I say. What you see is my love of music. It's my love of music and skating and that collision of those two things, right, in one place. That's all you're seeing. is my love for both music and skating, right? I love it.
So Eno said a lot of people have moves but no musicality.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Wow.
So that's part of what they was talking about. Like when you skate off a song, you know the music, you hear, you feel the beat. You skate off the whatever that comes to your body, your mind, you just go for it. That's where the musicality come in at. And I was just explaining to Chrissy yesterday, like that's the biggest part of skating is musicality. Like I listen to a song 30,000 times, right? And I get to the skating rink, I know every beat that drop, every snare that hit, every cymbal that ring. I know all of it. I can skate to every single beat that hit.
And that'll also control what you're gonna do, right? If I know where the breakdown is on the song, that's when I'm gonna hit the middle. I'm gonna tug, I'm gonna come back out, I'm gonna do something as I'm coming out the middle, right? If I'm skating backwards, I know exactly where that bridge is coming and where that, that long note is coming. I'm gonna spin right there, right? It's all those things. And so it's a joy to watch because it's a performance without it trying to be a performance, right? It's really just like I tell people, y'all not even there when I'm skating.
We got a question, Tony. Yeah, somebody asked, was it called open house as well back then?
I'm going to say no, Anthony, because it's probably a good question for either Richard or Cynthia or Willie Johnson to ask. I don't remember it being called open house myself. That's a term that kind of came along.
Eldon, like Williams.
When did they say open house?
Like Aaron Williams is when I remember hearing open house. I don't remember it.
I'm trying to. I don't even remember Nate the Skate even calling it when we used to go to Safari.
So that's
shout out to Nate, gospel DJ.
Did they ever just elect a song to just say? Because when they say open house, that means what the house is open for you to slide, right?
No, they did not select songs. All them open house songs that y'all like skating.
Those are not.
Don't say
we
like
could not skate no slide in no corner to those songs. When Melvin used to play that stuff in Pontiac,
you had to skate.
You had to skate. We was cutting. We was stepping.
They said, please explain open house.
If
Most
you
people don't know what
slid,
open house is.
I'm gonna get to that one too. If you slid in Pontiac, it was people like Pat's husband Fred and other security guards. All that stuff that Richard and Clark be doing, you doing in Pontiac. They didn't even, how you got to sit there and plead. Okay, well, man, They come up to you, them skates go off, them cops escort you out the door.
Wow.
None of that. None of that. All that stuff, all them open house songs y'all like sliding to.
Why you keep saying y'all?
Let's
answer Joy's question.
Yeah,
what is open house?
That's a term that came about.
Then what does it mean though? That's when we slide, right?
That's basically what it is now. When they
slide to the corner.
When they,
I thought it meant the house is open for us to slide.
But that's my thing. So I don't remember anything being called open house until remember L. Williams, and all of a sudden open house university. That's when I started hearing.
It was never.
It was.
Like before then, even though we knew how to slide, I never remember it. One, because we couldn't really slide anywhere.
Right.
You couldn't.
Northland, you could forget.
Northland, you could slide. Now Canton.
We used to say L. Williams started that.
You can't slide in Canton.
Big shout out to L. Williams wherever you at, brother.
Northland.
Northland isn't as bad as it used to be now, right? Now. Back in the day,
those of you watching in Michigan, you can go to these rinks that they're naming like Roller K, Northland, Schoolcraft next door, East Side, Canton.
That's the same. We call the place
Carousel.
I'm sorry.
Don't even call it
names.
That's just the names.
Northland.
You can go up in Flint. You can go up 75 and go to Flint. We used to do that every South of Flint every Wednesday night. Goodness grief, and then get up and go to work. I don't know how.
I miss those Wednesday night Flint days. What happened to Flint's Wednesday night?
It's still here.
It's just young.
It's a little pepper.
It's young now.
A little pepper.
We literally would go to Flint every single Wednesday and get up and go to we didn't even have to. We had to go to work the next day.
There was 4 rinks.
That's an hour drive.
There was 4 rinks that we used to go to in Flint.
But wait, not only then, but the session was much longer than it is now. It ended much later.
It started at 9.
It started at 9. Ended at 1. We had about a half hour to an hour of open house at the end.
Yeah.
Then you gotta
We're
go
talking
to
about
the gas
Northland
station.
back in the day when your dad used to skate. As far as you can't.
Ask your dad, Anthony.
Yeah, long time ago. Ask your dad.
That's your daddy.
He said, what?
Let's talk about. Let's hit this too. Go ahead.
Anthony. When Herman Davis had Northland, you
couldn't
better not even.
yeah.
You better not even skate fast.
Well, they said it. Yeah, it did mess the floor up. It does.
This-
Of
what
course,
is
it puts marks on the floor.
Listen, you can't skate fast if you're passing more than 2 people.
They
Right.
said the middle of the floor is
Too
reserved for
fast.
beginner skaters only.
Listen,
You
It was.
couldn't even stop in the middle of the floor.
It was more
Like,
relaxed.
yeah,
It was
all
more. It was more relaxed when Bill had it.
Yes.
Bill was the white guy that owned it
Oh,
before
yeah.
Melvin.
Yep.
His
And-
wife worked behind the snack bar for a long time,
Right.
didn't she? Wasn't that his wife?
And just to let you all know, there was a special at Northland where Bill went up in that DJ booth and played an organ.
Oh, wow.
So we had to skate to organ music
You get me.
for about 20 minutes.
And that organ was still in there until the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, they didn't play it anymore, but it stayed in there until in the DJ booth until sometime in the 90s.
One of the guys
Yeah.
said, people go to Flint to get recorded.
Facts.
Well, yeah, that's about right.
It's
Great,
getting a little
great.
hot in here.
All
Great, great
facts.
footage, though. Shout out to, what is that, Terrence for the footage?
Triple magazine,
777.
777 magazine.
777.
Yeah, he get it all on camera. Woo! He get it all on camera.
All right now. Hey, Terrence. All right.
And people, there are 2 types of open house.
Okay.
There's one that has no rhythm, no nothing to the music. You're not doing anything.
Mhm.
You ain't
You just
just
run.
sync. You just run up the floor, run around the corner, run down to the corner,
Mhm.
do your trick slide.
They just run.
Then you
Okay.
have the ones who we skate to the rhythm of the music.
Chuckle up.
We
Let's go.
will either be by ourselves,
Mhm.
with 2 people, trios, or foursome.
All right now.
If you notice those people when they are in that type of situation, they
Move.
are on rhythm to the music. They have a beat,
Mm-hmm.
and they will step to that beat from the time they gather to get on the floor, going around the rink, taking a half around the rink,
Mm-hmm.
coming down the side of that wall, and sliding in the corner. They are still in rhythm to the music.
Music.
Wow.
What is
Amen.
this? Skate clubs.
Skate clubs.
You know, with the Royal Maze. Is that in Michigan? It's-
Royal Mates was back in the.
She said she was in
Yeah,
Royal.
that's Cassandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was part of this guy named Alan, Maya. What is the lady's name out of California? Oh, I can't think of her name at the moment. She still skates now.
Gloria.
They were all Royal Mates. Alan and Myra, for the people who probably don't know who they are, they was on the Safari tape, skating, standing still during the time when Cynthia and Charles was performing as well. They're the ones where the lady was doing 360 drops.
Mm.
That was the Royal Mates. Back in the day.
Wow. Skating clubs and stuff.
Solo on wheels.
Shout out. Shout out, Will
One-
So
Solo.
let's talk about
Wait,
that. Has
one-
the
one
love
more
and-
thing, Dave. Let me.
Go ahead.
People, today you all are only doing about 40% of the stuff we used to do.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
40%.
I've seen the videos.
Talk about it, Tom.
Listen,
Back in the day.
seen the footage.
It
Seen the
is
You talking about moves?
so many other steps, routines,
Y'all
name
talking, I ain't lying.
things besides a Pepsi Kenny Mike,
Hate a Pepsi.
Pontiac My Way, Baby Ray, them bop, and trying to be fancy bopping. It's
Washing machine, and it
more
messed that up,
than
too.
that. I ain't seen no mashed potatoes.
I still mashed potato.
Yeah, we do.
I still mashed potato.
Who's side split with the scissors?
Yes.
It is so much stuff out there. Back in the day, Clark wasn't the only one who did it inside one day.
Deborah.
Oh, you
Deborah.
Listen.
Deborah.
No, she can slide. Deborah can slide. I love her
did
spins
that.
too.
She would come down and do
She
it in
can
open
spin.
house.
Listen. that's the thing though, right? And so one of the things I feel like is missing from this generation of skating are women. See, like when we were younger, we had women to look up to that skated. That's why none of us skate like men, because there were actual women that skated. There were women to look at and emulate and say, "Ooh, I want to get." Listen,
Jayla.
when Jayla used to.
But they back now. Though.
Shout out to Jayla.
I mean, but like just to
But
start,
I'm saying, yeah, she back now, but Jayla now is not Jayla at 24.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
God,
even,
Perry Stokes.
you know what I'm saying?
Perry,
Like, Perry now ain't Perry at
Mm-hmm.
22, 24. Like that's the difference, right? So for me, I was able to look at Jayla and Erica and Shelly and be like, got it. Look at Deborah Spin and be like, yep, got it, right? Those things, that feminine flow. My mother, my auntie, you know what I'm saying? I could listen, my auntie didn't play with me about them edges. Even to this day, if I'm edging, she'll be looking, ma'am, relax. I'm just, right? It's that thing, but I had women to look at and watch so that my flow was still feminine. I always thought my daughter can do so much, right? She skates so well, but her whole life growing up, it was nothing but boys to skate with. There were no girls that were skating at the level she was skating at. None. She kicks stupid high.
Yeah.
She's short though. So for it to be in sync and aligned for her performances, she had to kick where everybody else was kicking. She this little bitty thing doing all this stuff.
So with that, you saying that, you led right into my next thing. Has the family-oriented culture and coming together, has that been broken?
Let's go.
And why?
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
I'm the host, y'all. I
I
want to comment so bad, but I'm the host, and I'm gonna stay back and I'm
just
gonna let them rap.
It's
But-
a younger
as far as,
generation.
well, I can't.
Well,
Younger
look,
generation.
I'll give you an example.
Younger
We
generation,
had
they-
when we were skating, when I came around, we had DCN, we had rhythmic rollers. It was
Are you talking about doing the
Connection.
parties?
as I'm talking about it all.
Okay.
We
Absolutely.
It's a picture of us moving to Ohio. It's a picture of us in Atlanta. We like 50 deep. You know what I'm saying?
well
So it's different.
to that though, Ed, that's growing up with people. That's just a kindred spirit, they would call it. And you're gonna be nice to other people. You're not gonna dog them. You're not gonna shun them away. But it's just some people you just have
a closer connection.
You're not gonna get along with everybody or vibe. You
That
can.
too.
I mean, you try to be cordial with people, especially in a skating community. I mean, you're gonna
We
see
good,
each
we
other,
back.
but of course we.
So, official said, so we're here to discuss the disconnect. I hear option. Why don't y'all pop out to the session and speak or teach to the youth?
life.
I'm grown.
Life.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
And some of them just, man, they body just won't let them do it. But when we do come,
Amen.
be open and come to
Right.
us.
Receptive, yeah. It's
And,
almost like you seen, like for me, if I seen Michael Jordan, I'm like, dang man, I'm gonna walk up to him. He's not gonna walk up to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
it's just like, and you know, you already know, we got history, bro. Like, it's the newer generations. Like, you have to, you know what I'm saying? That's not how we came.
What's his name?
You know, official. He's on Instagram.
He on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram.
Go to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, I see him.
That's my guy. You know, that boy got
Right
talent.
there.
He got talent.
Right
The boy
there.
can skate.
Hey man,
How
can
we
you,
roll.
can you make it a
Okay.
little bit more specific? Are you talking about the regular sessions, or are you talking about skating as a whole? Are you talking about us being at regular sessions? Because I'm gonna address that too, if that's what you're talking about. Because a lot of things, even for me, the music and it's just not the same no more. Like I ain't gonna point it out, but certain sessions. One, I'm grown. I got a family now and things of that nature. But even if when I have free time, the session that I'm talking about, I got to make an example.
The music is definitely not the same, because when I started skating in, you know, like in the 70s and 80s, everybody from pre-K to 90 years old had to skate to the same music. There wasn't no different type of music.
Okay.
Right.
But that's the thing about it here. That's why we love old
Right.
songs.
If-
We had to stay to what the
If,
did.
if we was in third grade and they was playing Martha Reeves,
You better get on out there.
hey,
See, that's what she's talking about.
we didn't have,
Mhm.
you know, the young, you know, the young artists
And
compared
it's
to the
true.
old.
Most of us got our own lives. We don't
Right.
skate that much.
Oh,
I definitely
yeah.
don't skate. Every week, when it's cold, you know,
But
I'll be like, I'm gonna go skating. Then
Here's
8
the other
o'clock
deal
roll
too,
around.
though, and I'll be very honest. For me, one, the sessions are not the same, right? The vibe of the rink is not the same. Like, people wouldn't even believe, right? You couldn't pay these kids to believe that a Friday night used to be more packed than a party is.
Yeah.
And that was every
Yeah.
Friday. It was a regular
line around
Friday
the
night,
rink.
right? It was a regular
Sunday.
Friday night, a regular Sunday night on the east side. What?
And we would love to be around each other so much. We would go to the gas station after the session and talk. Among
Coney
other
Island.
things.
Or the
Coney
Coney
Island.
Island. Take it back
Yeah.
to TJ's
Coney
Coney
Island.
Island on 8 Mile, baby.
The what's the restaurant?
Denny's.
Yes,
Ram's
Denny's,
Horn.
Ram's Horn,
All of that.
all that.
So he
Yeah.
also said, I get we all have our own lives, but I think y'all present would be more impactful.
Say less. We there.
I'm not signing up for that, you know. But so for me, I won't even say that, right? So for me, I out of all of us, I probably skate the most. Well, maybe
Yeah.
outside him.
You do.
I don't skate that much.
Okay, so
Trey,
I
you
skate the
do.
most. I just want to say, well,
Yeah.
maybe outside of you,
Yeah,
like
I
I
do.
skate the most, right? I go to the most sessions. One, because I just love to skate, so I'm putting my skates on, right? But for me, the session isn't the same, and I realize I'm not supposed to like every single song that come on.
No.
Every song is not for me.
Everybody's not gonna be
Right,
pleased,
everybody isn't gonna be pleased with every song, but now every single DJ want to listen. Y'all with everything got to be a murder mix. Every single thing got to be a techno mix. I don't want to listen. I get it. I love music. Okay, I love all types of music, but I'm from Detroit, and I don't want to skate to that all night. And I don't want to hear you make every single thing a mega mix, or you trying to fit 13 songs into 2 minutes. You done missed the whole breakdown because you trying to squeeze 16 songs. You know, you done missed the best part of the song for the way we skate. Trying to put in, you know, trying to get in as many songs as you can, right? And so,
right, a lot of y'all would be mad if y'all came up skating when I did. They was playing 45s.
listen, and the whole song.
It would take 5 minutes or less before the next song came
Yes.
on.
Wow.
They had to get that 45 right, put the needle on, and then
Yes.
start the music.
Mm.
So in between that time, you just skating around waiting for the next song to come on. So trying to mix to me,
It's like
it's
don't get me
not a
wrong.
thrill to me.
The
you know.
blend, listen, I love a seamless blend, right? Blend the music. I want a seamless blend, right? So I'm not jumping, what beat am I on now, right? I love a seamless blend, but I'm talking more of like, why am I hearing this another song in the background? Because they're layering the music. Like, listen, I get it. It's, to me, DJs are artists, right?
Mhm.
It's supposed to be.
They are artists. I respect DJs in the craft. One, because I love music, but there's a time and a place, right? And you trying to get your artistry on and you killing the whole vibe on the floor because you so into your own vibe.
Mhm.
Go to a club, sir.
So I kind of feel like we're getting away from the question.
I was gonna come back.
Well, that's why. I'm sorry. Well, because I can't connect to it.
Example of what I'm
connect.
trying to lead them to is and I know we can, but I'm just gonna use this as an example. If me and Ed want to go out of town and skate with these young guys, but you with this clique or you don't feel this way about this person, has the camaraderie of Detroit been broken and why?
I don't think when it comes to going out of town, it is.
No.
No,
That's what people are thinking.
'Cause you-
I'm sorry.
When you go out of town, we're gonna be around people we know. I mean, you're gonna see them at the rink or at the meet and greet or whatever, but eventually your people are hanging around who they normally hang around at home.
Mhm.
It's just is what it is. People are just gonna be.
Well, I think some of that too, right? Is the thing of is when we're out of town, if we don't skate at home,
Mm-hmm.
Don't grab me.
Come on.
Listen,
There we
don't
go.
grab me.
There we go.
There we go.
Listen, I will speak. We can hug and we can kick it and all that, but if we don't skate at home, why you
What you
kicking?
doing?
What are you going? Right? And I have literally looked at people like that, like, where are you going?
You won't even grab me at the
You
home
don't
rink.
grab me at home, right? And so I don't think that it's a thing of camaraderie is off. I think it's that people want to get out of town and then all of a sudden
Show out.
I don't even think it's a show out thing, right? It's that now they realize how broad the world of skating is,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
We know people from other states, other
Mhm.
places, all those things. We talk to those people, we skate with some of those people, all those things, right?
Mhm.
Now those 2 people or 3 people they may have come with, they haven't branched out to know and learn other people. But
Mhm.
out of town is not the time to want to branch out and know me
Right.
when you had the opportunity at home.
At home.
Right? And so for me, you want to skate with me? Come skate with me at home. Some of these kids see
Because-
me every week and don't say nothing. But when it's time for me to have a party, if they under 25,
They inbox.
they in my inbox.
Uh-oh.
Or they got their parents in my inbox. No. And I tell them to call me. Tell them to come see me. They see me every week. So it's not, I'm not reaching out and trying to pull kids into my world because y'all are kids to me.
Mm.
That would be like my mother coming and then like skating. If she's still skating and somebody expect her to come and grab them, she'll get 72. She ain't coming to grab somebody 20 years old.
Right.
Mm.
But if you asked her, hey, can we skate? If she still skated, I'm sure she'd be like, yeah. And I'm the same way. If you ask me, sure, right? But camaraderie is different from me just like, I'm not here to make you feel good about your experience in the ring. That's your job.
And you won't help. I'm pretty sure everybody heard this. Closed mouths don't get fed.
There you
You know what I'm
go.
saying? So it's like, even when I first started skating, like I didn't ask nobody, so I had to learn the hard way. Like even being in the rink with Trinae and who else? Anybody for so long with Sharon, Kanye, any of them. Like if I asked them why they wasn't doing nothing, they would show me. But I'm not gonna, stop your roll.
Oh, you can't stop my flow.
Well, you didn't teach me nothing anyway. But
I know you lying. You can tell that lie in the world.
anyway, getting back to what I was saying.
I love it. I love it. Go with it.
Okay. All I'm saying is, going to question, like, y'all dangerous not, y'all have to come up and ask, man. Like, nobody gonna say no, get the hell away from me, none of that. It's just like, be open-minded,
Mhm.
be open to
Be
constructive
receptive.
criticism. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and don't expect somebody to pat you on the back because you did the move right. You know what I'm saying? Because after you do that one move the one time, you still got to do it over and
Mhm.
over,
Repetition.
and over again
Till become flawless.
to become muscle memory. I
Listen,
talk about
it's
that all the
actually
time.
it's until it's muscle memory.
And I gotta be transparent. Like I be on live, and like my little guy, he probably like, man, they don't like you, Ed, man, because you be on here talking. But I'm telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like to hear the truth.
Truth
and,
hurts sometimes.
And now when you have a panel of people saying the same thing, it's
Right.
not just me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Just a FYI, like they saying, they, during their time when they came up, they was learning from us.
mhm.
We're the ones who created it.
Absolutely.
We're the ones, we know exactly what it's supposed to look like. If you're gonna water it down, I can spot it in a minute.
Yep.
And I call you a lot, don't I?
Oh yeah.
I call Tony a lot, like, man, like I seen this move, yada yada yada. When I see some of the new generation try to duplicate moves from even before I started skating, I'm like, let me call Tony and ask him is this right, because it's not about a right or wrong way to skate, but if you're doing a style, there's a right way to do the style.
You got people teaching other people who really don't.
They teaching the wrong way. That's the whole thing.
Speaking of teaching, yeah, here we go. Can everybody teach?
No.
No.
You can show somebody that. You can show them something.
I think everybody has the ability to demo or show, right?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between showing somebody and doing a demonstration than actually breaking it down for somebody and telling them where their weight needs to be, which way they need to look, how to actually, the mechanics, right, of the movement. So is there a difference? Absolutely. You made the comment that, women should learn how to skate from women. And I don't even think it's a thing of just learning how to skate from women, because I've had both female and male instructors. But what I will tell you is there's a difference, because for me as a woman, I teach women how to move their body.
That's what
how to move their body, right? Because they have breasts, hips, different bodies, their weight, our weight is much different than a man who is just kind of straight up and down, right? And so I can teach a woman how to move her body. So to me, I always tell people like, hey, my gift honestly is teaching women how to move their own bodies. So when I see women doing something sometimes and they're just doing steps, I'm always so apprehensive. Like if I say something or they don't think, I'm just always, it's not that. It's the love of skating for me and the teacher in me that'll say, hey, if you do that, bend your knees, do this, shift your weight like this, right? And then it's that small thing sometimes that'll make it click for them, right? And so being able to do that is always just been my thing, right? And so for me as an instructor, it's always about one, teaching women how to move their bodies, right? Teaching them how to understand how they need to move. And once you learn how to move your bodies and all the foundational stuff, a man can show you how to do anything. He can teach you any move that's out there.
And I hope the man is a stronger skater.
Yeah.
Because if
you get ran over, kind of.
It's some videos on my Facebook page. There's a routine done by this one guy and this lady. The lady's deaf. And they skate into the song High by Sky. He, the control that this man has with that lady, outstanding. Because he knew how to guide her. He knew how to take her through moves. Just by him being the stronger skater, he made her look graceful. And that's the person you have to pick.
But that's also a thing, right? Is when you're skating with somebody, I think too, people have an intimidation thing, right? About skating with some of us, right? Some of the older skaters, right? It's not just the fact that we don't necessarily reach out and just grab them, but it's also the fact that, are we going to criticize the whole thing the whole way through kind of deal, right? It's like, I tell people, I'm a strong skater. I can't help that, right? If you're not where you're supposed to be, I'm going to put you there, right? You're going to get in that spot because I'm going to put you in that spot. And so having a strong partner, right, even if the other person isn't as strong, is critical, right? Somebody has to be strong in the dynamic, but not even only that, is that person who's the stronger skater isn't trying to outshine, right? The person they're skating with.
You're trying to make them look good.
You want them to look they look just as good as you look,
but
right?
That's not the case nowadays.
Right.
It's not the case nowadays. You watch some of these younger skaters, you have one skater that may not be, you have, like you said, a strong skater and a much weaker skater, right? And that person in the front, to be the strong skater, is doing everything he can do to get his shine on, while the person in the back holding him up. That's the issue that I see a lot. Like when I was skating with man back in the day, we complimented each other no matter what my weakness was, that was his strong point, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? That's how a skater should skate. That's how skaters skate together, right? I'm going to back to with these OGs, right? He said we look unapproachable.
Yeah, I was gonna try to get to these comments on these on the Instagram so they feel involved. One person said, "Yeah, we unapproachable."
We look
We look
unapproachable.
unapproachable.
Come and ask.
How does that look?
Come and ask. Come and
You
ask.
gotta
Don't,
approach somebody before.
We might be going through something.
Don't
you know,
assume.
it's-
Yeah, you see the same people at the
I
rink
don't
all the
even
time.
think
You
it's
just
just
gotta
that,
approach
right?
them.
I think it's still that thing of people feel like you need to come to them.
Mhm.
You want something from me. I'm not asking you for anything.
I'm just saying, what does unapproachable look like?
I don't know.
Should I be smiling?
I got
That's
some
what I'm
food
saying.
in the
What's it look
studio. If I want to go eat, I'm gonna go right over there and go get it and eat it.
Right. I'm not gonna wait for somebody to bring it to me so I can, you know.
now, for me and Cynthia, we're not going to show you all these pivots and turns and
In
stuff.
one
but,
session.
but we
No.
can show you how to ride, and we can show you how to step, and we can tell you what it's supposed to look like. when
Listen,
you-
Exactly.
when I was performing preparing for my performance for Edward's party, right? The Detroit Style 2.0 party. I was doing it. Tony was like, "Hey, you know that's not what she did right there, right? What she messed that up, but it was supposed to be." I'm like, "Oh, Tony, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it." What did she do?
Trinae
No, that's not
copied
me.
the exact messed up move.
That's right. That's how she put it out there. That's how y'all got it. But to say like, oh, like we're unapproachable about it, right? It's just that thing, right? If I see somebody doing something, it's not even about us being unapproachable. Y'all unapproachable. Because if I just come up to you and be like, hey, you did this wrong, or hey,
They gonna feel like
you
you
know,
know,
my God.
like
not
oh,
saying.
when you do, hey, that step is really not like this. It's really like that. And then all of a sudden, I'm hating on y'all. So I don't say
That's the
nothing.
word.
I just let y'all live, right? But I am gonna say this: the rumpo is the rumpo with a P,
Not the rumble.
not the
B.
rumble. It's rumple like Rumpelstiltskin. I just want to put that out there because it drives me bananas. But that's the thing, right? So when people like do the rumble, I'll be like, I don't know the rumble. I don't. I know the rumble, right? It's the rumple. And so little things, like no matter what, it's always confrontational
Yeah.
with younger people. So I don't say anything. I say stuff to the kids that talk to me. So the kids that talk to me
Likewise.
can get anything out of me they want. Tuesday, we at a skating party. Them kids had me spinning 1,000,000 times over. But those are the kids that interact with me. I'm not going out asking some kid like, hey, you want to learn to skate? If you want something from me, you can come and ask me for it.
Everybody know you teach. Like, I mean, it's people that come up to me, can you teach me how to skate? Honestly, I don't have the patience to teach people how to skate. Not saying that I can't, this is not my thing. So I direct people to Trinae. I have a friend now that she's a very good teacher. She's going to teach you the fundamentals. Me, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just don't have the patience. But
But people think that that's like when I'm in the rink and like I do a lot of private lessons. When I'm in private lessons and I'm just standing there, I look unapproachable because really what I'm focused on is what my students do.
Exactly.
I'm not focused on what everybody else is doing and what's going on. Or if you're trying to get something from me and somebody is paying for my time, then you can't have it right now.
Yeah.
That's not me being unapproachable. You're gonna have to either wait till I'm available or get on my books like them. But what people want is for you to just give them these things, right? They want it like just cherry picked and handed to them specifically for them. I'm sorry, I'm not here to do that.
And when you come to us and come to these teachers, you're not going to get it overnight.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Get that out
Everybody wants something so fast.
Yeah.
This takes time.
Detroit style, you're not going to even get it in a month.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was a video posted to me in Texas. I was in San Antonio. It was a comment. A guy said, well, I can learn that in 3 months.
Okay.
3 months.
Listen,
Can
I'm
I
up
say
for
something
anybody
too? Because
willing
I
to
be
do
looking
it.
at these comments too, and I think it's directly, it be under Detroit videos about men skating together, holding hands. I don't like it being, something that I wouldn't hold a guy's hand because I'm looking at other states. They don't really hold hands, do they? Or they do
Like
arms.
more or less California. That's like the main state who talk about
No,
that.
but they're saying hands. They're saying they don't like that two men are skating together in Detroit hold hands. I've seen that under several skate videos.
Snappers hold hands with two men.
Yeah.
They like,
Louis
and I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
St.
Like,
Louis, they be arm in arm. Like
We used to have a partner session that you had when you skate doubles. You had to have a woman
man and a
partner
lady.
and a
Yeah,
man
they
and a
allowed
lady.
two
no,
women
they
and two men.
couldn't skate
You
two men
Couldn't
together.
skate two
But I
men.
thought
That
that
was
was
more
because
about
of speed.
speed and power.
Yeah,
than
that
it
was about
anything
speed.
else. That was the key.
I don't
That
think
was,
they
that
had
was
to
crowd
do it.
control.
Right.
Yeah, that was about
more
speed.
crowd control.
Because it
than
get
anything else.
dangerous, but we can come through, we can skate. Two women can skate fast.
We got a question on the floor, y'all. What does on Instagram? I believe I'm on. What does Detroit style look like for you all in 5 to 10 years?
I already said it.
It's
I feel like
what
it's gonna be
extent?
water. I feel like it's gonna be water. It's gonna be thin. Like we are the oven era. They are the microwave era. It's a totally
I
different.
already see a lot of stuff going. A
Yeah,
lot.
oh yeah, we do
A
too.
lot.
So that's why I always say. So you're talking about in 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years from now,
I
there
think
still?
it'll still be there.
It'll still be a Detroit style. There will still be, because you got to think about it. Some of these
Yeah,
kids are
'cause I'll still
young,
be looking.
right? The Kais and the Coreys and the Taylors, they're still young.
Yeah,
Anthony,
they in their
But
20s.
they got
they're,
still
they're
wanna
young,
love it,
but
though.
but if they don't continue to love it,
Then
oh, it's gonna be gone.
no.
Because if we don't keep, if y'all young people don't keep going, if y'all don't continue to love it,
Mm-hmm.
then it is
You gotta
gonna be
keep
gone.
it going though. Don't be switching. If you can skate other styles too, but keep Detroit style going because it's so unique.
Keep
It's
foundation.
nobody that skates like that. Why wouldn't you want to? Even though people were attaching more, trying to learn it, they're even open to learn it. I don't think it was a time people were even recognizing Detroit style skate. So
Hated it.
please keep it alive. And when you go out, rep, with our style.
Yeah.
I'll never stop skating
Got a
Detroit
question for
style
Tony.
skating.
I got a question for Tony.
For Tony, for Tony, what do you see gone, and how do we get it back? How do we preserve?
Yeah, what are you saying it's called?
If you look at the videos from the safari and you see the different styles and the moves that people are doing, you will not see that today for a lot of the moves, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not many of us, I can probably count on one hand, that still knows what a lot of stuff looked like from back then. So like Trinae and they had been saying, you better come ask.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta come and ask.
I think that's one of the things too. Even a lot of the steps that one is like memory. Like, listen, it's only one person I know I can call right now, and I could tell you any step we did in the 90s, she could still do it, and that's Sharon.
Oh yeah,
Sharon.
Shout out to Sharon.
Listen, the memory on that woman, I don't even understand it because she didn't even skate for several years, and so and came right back doing all of it. I'm like, oh. Right. So I'll tell people in a minute. One of my issues is my memory. I don't remember. I had to remember too much stuff in too short of a time period, right, to retain all of it. The amount of material I had to be, fluent in every single week, there's no possible way to retain it because you're constantly moving on. But the foundational stuff, that stuff sticks.
Oh yeah,
right?
sticks,
That's foundational stuff. I'll tell you, those half turns and Pontiacs and reverse
basics.
Kenny Mikes,
Yep.
all that stuff
Stuff
sticks, right? Because those things
basics.
are the basics.
Basics.
Those things build every single thing that is after it, right? And so, what's wrong? You
No,
pointing at-
no,
oh.
I went to you finish.
I'm like, huh? So those things stick out to me, but we don't see those things, Tony, because nobody was doing them, right?
Right.
The people who were doing them didn't skate anymore. So those things didn't get passed down so from that generation, they didn't go to our generation. So it's no way for us to pass it to the other kids, right? The only time things may pop back up is when we start seeing old footage pop up, right? And somebody go, oh, I'm gonna do that. Right. So that's the kind of stuff, like you posting all that old stuff helps because then that brings that stuff back. The problem is nobody knows what it's called. They like, I don't know, it's that was on Tony.
videos.
Right.
Hey.
Listen, y'all, real quick, Facebook, I'm coming back. We're gonna do a part 2. So we can't get them all. We can't get. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. But we're gonna try to get them all in, and we're gonna get out of here. But listen, look out for part 2. Everybody share the flyer, things of that nature. But listen, Instagram. Another question: how do you think the pandemic has impacted skating?
Oh, can I answer? Ooh. So one, I think the pandemic took away a lot of the people who originally skated, right? The people who brought the vibe and the energy and all of that to the rink. Those people, they were already not skating as much, right? And then the pandemic, it was just wiped it out.
Mm-hmm.
What the pandemic also brought in is a bunch of internet skaters who there was nothing else to do. So I'm gonna buy some skates and go outside and skate. And I'm gonna look at this thing I saw on the internet, and then I'm gonna come into a skating rink with no etiquette, no actual
foundation.
Okay, no foundation, right, of skating, right? And so it makes it difficult. I don't skate with my phone. Listen, I never have. And so the number of people I have to avoid who are just on the floor doing this, right? Oh, I'm cute, I'm on the floor, I'm skating, is ridiculous, right? One is dangerous because you're not watching where you're going. Skating is like driving a car, you need to be focused. I tell people all the time, when my baby was young, she knew if she wanted to give me or her dad, you better call the rink. Call the rink and tell them to page us to the office because we don't skate with our phones. They knew, oh, Taylor on the phone. Oh, okay, here I come. Because we didn't skate with our phones, right? And so now everything is about being able to post something for some type of view, some type of like. It's not a love of skating for the most part, right? And I feel like now those people are starting to trickle out.
Oh yeah.
Right? It was cool that first year after the pandemic, right? It was hard with those pandemic skaters. They bought their Impalas and they was out there.
They Moxies,
baby, they was out there. You know what I'm saying? They was out there.
In a way.
They were strong and enforced, right? But what it did was it created an environment for the people like us who just skate and love to skate, where it was uncomfortable for us to be there. Now we can't have a good time and we can't move through as Ed said, those pandemic skaters, right? We're fighting them just for a piece of the floor. They falling all over the place. Listen, one dude had a bottle of water. I said, I know you kidding me right now, right? I don't even work here anymore. Get off the floor. Right? Because they don't know
etiquette.
They don't understand the rink.
I mean, even the kids who don't skate now don't know no etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous, and I appreciate on Instagram all the time, like about the length of the floor, the circles on the floor, cutting the floor. Like there's nothing wrong with cutting the floor, but know when to cut the floor. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
When did spinning become just a trick? What I'm saying about that is, me and Trinae, when the backwards song come on, we gonna skate backwards. We gonna get into the song. If the middle clear, we'll cut through the middle, do a spin, skate backwards out the middle, and keep going into the song. Now it's a trick. Stand around the middle, take off, do a spin, come back and stand in the middle with the rest of the group.
So one of the guys said nowadays it's basically about competition. But I think that's a lie.
Yeah, because me, you know what, me and Eldon used to have spinning competitions because we had to come to the rink. Me and him knew
healthy competition.
Right. Me and him knew that every time we stepped into the rink, we better have a new spin for each other.
But I don't think so. I don't even think that the competition that the younger generation having now is unhealthy because I think they're helping grow each other. Right? I totally think they help grow each other. So the competitive spirit I love. Right? They go and spin for spin, spin for spin, spin for spin. That's awesome. But now it is just
about spinning.
A move. There's no artistry.
Right.
But that is unfortunately most of their skating as a whole. I still love y'all, but as a whole, there's no artistry to it. Right? You have to think about it. We came from an era of performers.
Right.
So you use the whole floor. Right? You don't it's not just move for move up and down. You have to use the entire floor, to the point, I promise there's 2 songs. Whenever I hear them now, I still think about old performances this dude did to him because that it was the artistry of it, right? It was taking the music and creating something memorable from it. People remember me skating because it's a performance in their mind, right? To me, it's just me connecting with music, but for them, it's a performance, right? Because they're watching a flow.
Even with the clothes you wear, you know, in a competition, like these kids nowadays, they don't know what a competition is.
Oh no.
We had to have straight costumes.
Cookie told me, she said, you a figure skater. I was like, what? She said, you a figure skater.
Listen, we look out for part 2. The flyer be out there. Share it. Y'all share it.
Share it, y'all.
Maybe we'll do something once a month. We'll see. We'll let y'all know. This conversation is going to continue because
Anthony.
We got to talk about what irks my nerves. Now I'm going to stop being a host right here for a second. What irks my nerves is y'all not skating to the beat. Doing all these moves and not doing it to the beat.
What beat?
And looking off brand. But furthermore, we're going to come back to that on the next conversation, talk about basics of Detroit South skating. Listen, we thank y'all for joining us. We thank you. Listen, follow these great people right here. I love these people so much. Look, Ed, tell them where to follow you at, where you can be reached.
Y'all can follow me on allskate_ on Instagram, or just_Ed313 on Instagram. On Facebook, you can follow me at Edward Reese, Edward One of a Kind Reese.
Trinae.
You can find me on Instagram at TreBlack_skates. That's TREBLK_skates.
Kia.
You can follow me on Facebook, Kia Slaughter, and I believe on Instagram it's Miss Kia 529.
Tone.
Facebook, I'm Antonio Bat. On Instagram, I'm San Antonio 14.
I am David Tate. You can find me I'm the founder of TateFlight Studios. You can find me on TateFlight Show with me and my brother, Brian Johnson. You can find me on David Tate, Instagram 157. You can find me on Facebook, David Tate. I'm no longer hidden anymore, so y'all can find me. You can find me at the rink. You can find me ballrooming somewhere. You can find me at Chrysler working now. You can find me at the church on the Oregon. You can just find it. And I'll be glad to teach you what I know, whether it's music, sports, skating, ballroom dancing. We're going to get into that conversation as well sooner or later. Shout out to all my friends in that culture too. But you can find us. I am approachable. These people are, we all are.
We really are.
We're all approachable.
Hey, y'all, come say hi.
You might get 2 minutes or 30 seconds out of me, but I'm gonna give you all I got. All right. I do love skating. I've just got to get back into shape, and we're gonna get there with the help of my friends around here. We're gonna get me back in shape and get back to how I used to do it. I'm pretty good. I'm telling you, I'm pretty good.
T-Cook. Southwest. Let's go Southwest.
Shout out to speaking of shout out to Rollin and Aunt them and everybody. Listen, we're gonna see y'all. Look for the flyer, look for the commercial, like, tag, and share. Let's have a conversation. Let's grow together. We'll see you when I see you. Peace.
Tower, you are on final approach. How copy? Over.